So people have asked me how I balance lifting, running, and climbing, and the honest answer is I don't. See, there's always an intentional imbalance between these three. I'm not trying to hit a deadlift PR while simultaneously running the most mileage I've ever run in a week and simultaneously trying to get better in climbing. That would lead to me being constantly tired and probably not making much progress in any of the three. Instead, I just rotate focus depending on my goals. So first, I'll pick a goal that excites me, I'll put it into the calendar, and then I'll design my training around becoming the person that can accomplish that next goal. Having a goal in your calendar is the surest way to get excited about training and really get clear on what programming that you need. And if you're not excited to train for your next goal, then that's probably a good sign that that's not the right goal for you. So pick another one. All right, let me show you what I mean. So this is my calendar for the next few years. Right now, my focus is powerlifting. So I have meets in July and November, and that means my training is designed around getting stronger in the squat, bench press, and deadlift. I still run twice a week, and I still climb a couple times a month, but those things are not really my goal right now. I'm just trying to maintain the abilities that I've already built for those two. Then as we get to 2027, that's the year of the ultra. I have ultramarathons planned for April, August, and October. And at that point, lifting will still be a part of my training, but its role will change. I will no longer be trying to maximize my deadlift. Strength training will become a way to maintain muscle and support my running and to help me stay durable. Then in 2028, my focus shifts again. My fiance and I want to climb Half Dome and other multi-pitch routes in Yosemite in the spring. And I'm planning other multi-pitch trips, including Seneca Rocks, earlier in the spring as stepping stones towards that goal to lock in on our multi-pitch techniques. So that means in 2028, I'm going to have more climbing-focused training. I'm going to care more about time on the wall. I'm going to work on technique, finger strength, do a lot of hangboarding, work on endurance, and being comfortable on longer routes. So the point is not that I stop doing the other sports during that time, but the point is that I know what sport I'm trying to improve right now. Now, the calendar does something else for me too. It actually eliminates a lot of FOMO. If my friends sign up for a big race while I'm on a powerlifting block, I don't really need to feel like I'm missing out, that I'm failing to train for a race because I chose a different goal. And when I'm focused on climbing, I don't need to worry about chasing a new squat PR because there'll be another strength session later on in the next year or in the coming months. So I know what I'm building towards, and I know each goal will get their turn. So for me, balancing different sports is not about squeezing everything into 1 week. You know, what split will allow me to advance in climbing and powerlifting and running simultaneously. It's about training in seasons. So let me give you some practical advice on what exactly I'm doing right now as I train for my powerlifting meet coming up in July and November. So right now on Sunday, I'll have a bench squat deadlift day. On Monday, I will run just a short, 5K run at zone 2. And then on Tuesday, I'll do another powerlifting block, which will be squat focused, squat and bench. And then on Wednesday, I will do another run, or I'll take a rest day. And then on Thursday, I'll do a bench focused powerlifting session. And then on Friday, I'll do a deadlift focused powerlifting session. And then on Saturday, I'll do a medium run. I did 10K today, for example, and then start all over again on Sunday. And I'll do that all the way up until July. Once I hit August, I'll go into a hypertrophy block. So I'll do a 5-day per week split. Usually I'll do upper, lower arms. And then getting up into October, I'll jump back onto powerlifting. So I like to rotate between hypertrophy and more powerlifting style training so that I could first build muscle and then I can train that muscle for strength. Now, earlier when I was focusing on my 50-mile ultra, the Knobstone 50 in Indiana, I was focusing mostly on ultra running from November all the way until April. I had a 4-day per week hypertrophy lifting split and a 3-day per week running split. So what I would do is I'd have a tempo run on Tuesdays. My lifting would be on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then I would do back-to-back long runs on Saturday and Sunday, usually the longer of the two would be on the Saturday, and then I'd usually cut it in half for the Sunday run. That was key for the 50-mile distance because you really need to build up mileage when you have tired legs. And that trains your muscles to be able to endure when ultimately during the race you're going to have tired legs. So I found that to be the best split, and then I would throw in 1 or 2 climbing sessions per month, as much as I could, usually with friends on a Friday or something like that. When I get to 2028, when climbing is going to take a big focus, and I'm really excited about this because this is something that me and my fiance, at that point will be my wife, like to do together. We also like to run together, but she doesn't do the ultra distances. And ultra training is a lot of alone time. Here we're going to focus on climbing, so we're going to be doing hangboarding starting at the end of 2027, focusing on 3 days a week hangboarding sessions. We're going to get one for our house, focusing on pull-ups, and then focusing on just getting in bouldering and rope sessions at least 3 days per week. So we're going to build up our skill in climbing so we get comfortable to the point where we can do half dome, which currently, we're either going to do it on our own. There's the 5-7 snake dike route, which is rated R, so a little bit sketched out about that. So we might do it with a guide first and then do it on our own after that. There's also plenty of other multi-pitch routes at Yosemite that we're interested in doing, some that are at the 5-8 level. So we just want to build up our skill and finger strength enough so that we feel confident doing these trad routes together. And Seneca Rocks is somewhere where I've trad climbed before, which is a great place to learn how to trad climb. There's things like Old Man's Route and Old Woman's Route, which are 5-4, 5-2 grade. So you can really get in the rope technique and learn all the knots that you need and how to rappel and things like that. So that's the plan there. I'll still be running a couple times a week to maintain, and I'll still be lifting. Probably the lowest I would go down to would be 3 days per week lifting, just because I love it so much. But for climbing being the focus, if we're climbing 3 days a week, I'll probably lift 3 days per week, and that might just be full body, or it could be push-pull legs, TBD. Okay, I've got 3 practical tips, issues that I've run into trying to create my programming while putting one thing in the spotlight. For example, when running's in the spotlight, I recommend only having 1 leg day per week, and I recommend putting it 3 days before your Saturday long run. So Wednesday was the perfect time for me to do leg day. I could do things like Bulgarian split squats or heavy squats, really tire up my legs and give them enough time to recover so that on Saturday, it wasn't such of a slog to get through, 20, 25 miles or whatever I needed to get through. Tip number 2, if powerlifting is the focus, then don't do tempo runs or interval runs. Don't get your heart rate up really, really high. You don't need to improve your VO2 max while you're powerlifting. That's not really something that comes in handy when you're lifting heavy. Just do zone 2 runs, just maintain your engine, and throw in some strides at the end of your run. Maybe do 4 sets of 20-second strides at the end of your zone 2 runs just to maintain a little bit of that speed until your next running block. Finally, don't climb hard the day before you're deadlifting. You're going to really reduce your grip strength for your deadlift session, and it's going to make you really hard to progress your deadlift if you're not able to grip hard and really get in those reps, those heavy reps. And I learned that one the hard way. I had my deadlift effectively stall for months, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was because I was deadlifting on Saturday and climbing on Friday. And I really wasn't training my deadlift as hard as I thought I was, because I had that reduced grip from climbing really hard. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. See you guys next time.